Alright, so the next type of question, we basically have a realistic application of the question. Alright, so let's say the question says the number of viewers in a video game service is given by a function. Alright, so this is your real world application kind of scenario. So we got the function v, which is equal to negative 11t squared plus 528t. And we also have a restriction on t being greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 48. So v is equal to negative 11t squared plus 528, and we're saying that v represents the total number of viewers of, let's say, a YouTube channel, all right, online. And we're also saying that t represents the amount of viewers in months. Okay, so an application question. The first question we asked is to find the rate of change of daily viewers with respect to time. All right, so find the rate of change, that's a gradient, rate of change of daily viewers, which is that many daily viewers with respect to t when the number of daily viewers is 3,520. So the first thing we must remember for this question is they're asking us for the rate of change. So let's write that in a different way. When we see rate of change, right, of daily viewers, we know that's implying v with respect to t. So that's change in v over change in t, which is the derivative of this function. So let's find the derivative of this function. Become negative 22t, take 2 multiplied by 11 minus 1, plus 528. T disappears completely when you derive it. To the power of 1 will become 1 minus 1, which is 0. And so anything to the power of 0 is 1. And then 1 times 528 is 528. It's telling us to find the rate of change, which is this at the moment, when the number of daily viewers is 3520. Now, what does that mean? We know daily viewers is V. So what is this? This is saying V equals 3520. I can't substitute that in there. That's the gradient, right? We want to find that. First, we need to find what time. The only way I can get that is if I have that. So I need to find t. I need to find t that will work for this value. In order to do that, I actually have to substitute this back into the original function and take 3520 minus 11t squared plus 528t. And from this function over here, we're saying that I've got to find t. So I'm going to move this all the way to the left hand side. So 11t squared minus 528t plus 3520 equals 0. And so for this here, I can probably try and factorize it if possible, or just put it on a calculator. If you have a graphics calculator, you can substitute it into there. So maybe grab a graphics calculator and try and solve it there. The quadratic. If I substitute it into a graphics calculator, it'll be very quickly done. I just put the coefficients in there. In this case, it will be 11, negative 528, and 3520. The other option I could use is the quadratic formula, right? I could use the quadratic formula, and it would also work as well. So I get x equals 240 and x equals to 8. So yes, it does factorize. All right, so this does definitely factorize. From here, I can probably divide the entire function by 11. 528 divided by 11 is 48. I'm going to divide the whole function by 11. this will become t squared minus 48t plus 3520 divided by 11 is 320, and then factorizing that becomes t negative 40 and negative 8. So therefore t equals 8 and t equals 40. Alright, now I have two values of t, and those two values of t mean that I'm going to change this into 8 or 40. And that will shoot out the rate of change of daily views when it's 3520. Right, so let's substitute. So when I substitute t equals to 8 in there, the derivative is equal to negative 22 times 8 plus 528, or the derivative is equal to negative 22 times 40 plus 528. So we have two options there. Negative 22 times 8 plus 528 comes to 352, or times 40 comes to negative 352. And we can see it says the rate of change of daily views with respect to t when the number of daily views is 3520. This is a negative rate. This is saying that the slope is negative. I would say this would be where it would be not applicable, and this is where it would be valid. So what we're saying is that we have 350 daily viewers, right, per month, instead of negative, because there's no such thing as a negative viewer, right? You're either viewing it or you're not. It goes to 0. So we're saying that this is implying that 352 viewers would be the correct answer there. Hold on. Okay. And so once you get that, you can then write down some kind of conclusion. So the rate of change of daily views is equal to what is given by 352. Okay. Alright, so that'll be done then. That was the first part of the question. The second part of the question now is asking the following. The second part of the question asks us, what is the maximum number of daily viewers? So part B, what is the maximum daily viewers? The moment you see maximum, you have to immediately go derivative of x equals to 0. The maximum number of daily viewers that this basically would be in 48 months. So we've got a time lapse of 48 months. Let's go back to the original function. Let's see what it looked like. So the original function was v equals negative 11t squared plus 528. Right? V equals negative 11t squared plus 528t. So what is the maximum daily? What's the maximum daily viewers in 48 months? Okay. Maximum is when derivative equals 0. So if I find the derivative, I got negative 22t plus 528. But now I'm going to make it equal to 0. Negative 22t squared becomes negative 22t, and negative 5 and plus 528t became 528 after we derived it. I'm making this equal to 0 now. This becomes 22t equals 528, and so t equals 528 divided by 22 is 24. So t is going to equal 24, and that will be the maximum. Remember this function, the original function over here was given as that, which is negative 11t squared. And we know that that function, by the way, is a parabola. If I have to sketch this function, it would be firstly a sad-shaped parabola because it's negative, and it would be going through 0 actually because this has got 0 as a y-intercept. So if I had an x-axis and a y-axis, this function would either do that and reach a maximum, in which case this is going to be 24 over there, because that's t, and it has some specific v value which we can calculate. Now, that's what we want. We want the v value at t equals to 48. But we want to find the maximum, so that's where the derivative comes in. So step 1, derive. Step 2, obtain t, and then step 3, put it back into the original function and get v, because this is not the original function now. So if I substitute t equals 24, I will get v equals negative 11 times 24 squared plus 528 times 24. And so that becomes negative 11 times 24 squared plus 528 times 24. That's going to be 6,336. And that's the total number of viewers, 6336, according to this function at 24 months. Alright, so step 1, what is the maximum daily viewers? The first thing you do is we derive it, make it equal to 0, find t. Alright, that's that. Then the second thing is once we do that, we then substitute t into the original function v, which is that. Okay, that's the original function.